For all our experimentation, I recommend you use this configuration. We will set up a 20-day warm-up time. The warm-up is the time you need to let the model run till you have something which has to do with the steady state. If we go back to our model, we can check that if we reset the model, we start running the model and we see it's empty. So it wouldn't be fair to draw any conclusions for how the system works if we checked the model for several weeks, stopped it, and saw how it worked. So we need to first run the model for a while. I will fast forward. Like, for example, we run it as you can see, almost 1,000 hours. Now we have something which could be similar to a state in the steady regime. Okay. So for that, I wouldn't go into the detail of how do the estimate of what is a good warm-up time, but I recommend you use a 20-day warm-up time. The running time will be 1 year plus 20 days. That is the way that you get results of how the system performs during the whole year. So if you do that, you will have this senior running the model for 20 days, and then running the model for another extra year. And you will have information about what happened during that year. You will reset all the information regarding how the system behaved after the 20-day warm-up, because that time was only used to set the system in a situation, in a state corresponding to how it will work in a steady state. And we have the property of the model, which is storm after warm-up. Okay, I recommend you set up to no, okay, to false, because you don't need to do any analysis on that. This is a simple exercise. And of course, you can control the number of Kanban. So we'll go back to our Simio, and you can modify these values here. First, I didn't comment on that, but you can select either Kanban or another way of organizing or managing the system. We will use just Kanban. We will set up a warm-up time of 20 days, as I said. This is the capacity of workstation 3, which is 1, because you might actually check that if you increase the capacity of this station, you'll see that things work better. That'll mean an investment, but you'll see if that pays off or not. And of course, you have the number of Kanban you're going to use. In this case, I just set up 6 for every station. You see that we are far from the theoretical values, and that's why we checked that we have a service level which is very high. We have way more than needed in terms of number of Kanban. And we have the unitary cost stock, which is €2 per hour for every entity that is in our system, and a unitary income, which is €100 per item we sell. You will need only to configure for the moment the value of the number of Kanban and see how the system performs. And the ending type is already configured for you if you're using the model I provided you with, and you have to type here or leave this 385 days, corresponding to 860 plus 65 plus these 20 days here. Okay, so if you run it in fast forward mode, you wait for a while and you get results. There are faster ways to run the model, but we don't have time to explain that. I want you to realize that this is not it's not how theoretically the study should be done, okay? Because we would need to run the model several times. We will need to do several replications, get average values, and get a confidence intervals to estimate these numbers we have here. That is why we might have some results that are weird and we might not understand. And that is because we are only running the system once. So for a first approach in seeing what we can do, that is okay. But if we were in a real-world project, we will need to run the model several times and get some better estimate on how the system performed, not only over one run, but over several ones. Okay. When we explain how the system works for different values of Kanban, we will see that that actually happens. But I've taken my time to run them all in the way you should do it, and this things doesn't happen. If you do the systematic comparison of different alternatives you're using, you will get rid of these things that might seem inconsistent. But as a first approach to how using simulation models can help you make better decisions, that is good enough. So in our next video, I will start with the number of Kanban, and I'll do the analysis of how we can reduce the number of Kanban till eventually we get something which is a good result in terms of the income and how the system performs.